Warning. The Dub Talk podcast may contain language and content that may not be suitable for younger audiences. Listener discretion is advised. There will also be spoilers for various anime throughout the course of this episode. Please proceed with caution in case we discuss a series you've yet to finish. Finally, the opinions expressed are those of the individual participants and do not reflect the Dub Talk podcast as a whole. Enjoy the show.
Hello, One in Claw, and welcome to Beast Talk, the show where a group of animal friends get together and talk about the latest and greatest in beast dubbing entertainment. I am your host, the Hyenakin Megan, and with me I have my glorious duck friend Gigi.
Wah, wah.
I have my heroic bull friend Jet.
Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. Don't sue us, Disney.
And our wonderful sloth friend Andrew.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Nick! Oh, sorry. I just can't hear. I just can't. I'm sorry. Sorry to get this off topic. When you were doing that, okay, everybody here has seen Zootopia at least once, right?
Yes,
Yep.
that's what I was going for.
Okay, no, very specifically, my second favorite joke in all of Zootopia is the very end of the movie where they pull the guy over for speeding, and it's just like, dash, 100-yard flash.
Oh my God. Let me tell you, I saw that movie. We were at Noah's house, and I fell asleep on his couch.
No!
That was the only time I've ever seen Zootopia.
Damn, I can't believe you slept through the abortion arc.
Andrew!
I also
No!
slept through My Neighbor Totoro on Noah's couch.
Andrew, no. That's it. Naughty sloths go to the pain dungeon.
Oh,
I got a cage down there for you.
So does this kingdom a lot. If
Right?
you haven't guessed, with all the fur flying and the animal noises, we're here to talk about Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts, an anime from 2023. I hate that instead of putting release date for animes on A&N, they put vintage, as if fucking 2-year-old wine is vintage.
Oh my God. Why, y'all?
Back in our day, yes, let me break out the Vince's Sword Art Online.
Oh god, Megan, you kid? That's like over 10 years. It's getting close.
Fair enough. Jesus Christ. Let me give you a plot summary. If you've not heard of Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. The King of Beasts and demons regularly receive female human sacrifices to eat in order to assert their dominance over the people of the human race. However, the 99th sacrifice, the human girl brought to the capital, Serafi, intrigues the Beast King. In fact, she isn't afraid of him or any other beast, and accepts her death without begging or crying, as she neither has home nor family to return to if she were released. The king finds her intriguing and lets her stay by his side as consort despite her being human. This is the story of how Serafi became the queen of the demons and beasts. Every night on the full moon, he turns into, like, a vaguely hot guy from every anime ever.
Mm-hmm.
And along the way, we learn lessons about racism and how it's bad. This episode is very special as it was brought to us by a patron, and Andrew has refused to tell me who requested this until now.
So, every couple of months we get a Patron's Choice episode, and I would like to thank our good old buddy Pikagreg. Thanks, buddy!
You know what? For once, Greg didn't give us something terrible. I love you, Greg, but Greg, we love you, but Greg also has some mildly questionable taste moments.
Greg is good people with probably, like, the biggest stomach for vile trash out of most people I know.
How many times has this man bought Hero Manga Sensei at this point?
I literally own a copy of High School of the Dead and Queen's Blade Rebellion because I want a giveaway from him.
You know, only the
Only
best.
the best.
So tonight we are here to talk about the dub, courtesy of Crunchyroll. So let's just get this started with our directors and our writers. Our main director for this was Jonathan Rigg, assisted by Jordan Das Cruz and Kevin Thowell, and Heather Walker took care of the scripts. Jonathan Rigg has done voice directions for such things as The Beginning After the End, Dragon Ball Daima, and because she's here and I finally watched season 1, he directed Blue Lock.
Yay! He sure did.
He directed the greatest unintentional yaoi of all time.
It's literally it's
by the
literally
way,
called BL.
You want to know who makes that joke to you if you tell him this?
What?
Who?
Rico. Of course it's BL. It's Blue Lock.
He's the best.
Gigi, if you have to ask, my favorite character is Bachira.
I can see it. I can see it.
God's favorite little Omega.
I remember
He's in my top
driving home. I remember driving home on a long drive, literally just on the phone with Gigi, being like, "I need to scientifically figure out all of your best boys." I got very close. I was off by one.
I'm trying to figure. That's a conversation for another day. Jordan Dash Cruz has assisted directed on series such as Blue Lock, Free Rem Beyond Journey's End, and Requiem of the Rose King. And Kevin Thowell has assisted and directed on things such as Blue Lock, Beaufry, and Dead Mount Death Play. Heather Walker has written series such as Annie Shirley, I'll Become the Villainess Who Goes Down in History, and The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent. Omnipotent. English is hard, guys. So, who wants to kick us off with the writing and direction?
Sure. I guess I'll go. Yeah, I really like this dub. I watched the show back when the simulcast first came out, and I ended up really digging it. I really just like the aesthetic it's going for. It's a really interesting play on Beauty and the Beast, and the dub does a pretty good job of reflecting that. Everyone here sounds really solid. Some really strong casting choices. Nothing too surprising coming against a simulcast, but there's some really strong performances here. A couple of career highlights, I would say, actually. And yeah, I was really impressed with how everyone here sounds. I don't have any complaints on the direction front. Equally, I think the dub script is really solid. Pretty, well, not exactly one-to-one, but I'd say pretty true to the text with this dub, and I think that works for something that's kind of going for a fairy tale aesthetic like this is. And I think the dialogue does a really good job of getting it across. Pretty solid amount of prose, and with a couple of good jokes mixed in every now and then. And, yeah, just really smooth across the board. I don't think I have anything I would really complain about.
Nice, thanks, Jet.
Holy shit, this is our first time talking about Jonathan Rigg.
Is it really?
I literally
Not
was
mine.
looking at it, and I was like, wait, that can't be right. And it's like, no, there's a couple of these that have been in production. One that I know is recording next month, but hasn't been recorded yet. So this is our first time actually talking about Jonathan Rigg proper on a full episode.
Oh, huh.
Fancy that.
Man.
Wow.
Now I'm about to feel bad.
Oh, no.
Alright. So, I enjoyed my time with this one. This was a pretty fun little dub. I liked the ensemble. A couple of really fun, honestly, some really strong performances in general. I think it's definitely an interesting product. I won't say it is, like, the strongest I've heard of his work, but I will say this is definitely a very enjoyable dub. I had a good time going through it. This is definitely an interesting little show, and I think I can definitely say it's interesting going through, how do I describe this? The double-edged sword that is the JC Staff shoujo anime adaptation.
Oh, God.
In that...
What does that mean?
Megan will go into that more in a bit, but I will say, even just watching this, it's like, they do a pretty good job, but I can definitely tell as it went further along, okay, we are definitely blitzing through to the climax.
Yeah.
What?
Gigi, you want to go and then I'll go? Or are you good, Andrew, or you want to keep
Oh, I mostly just needed to be a little catty about that for a second, but I did enjoy myself with this show, and I will definitely say, like, Sarfi and the overall, like, cast of the Castle of the King of the Beasts really did grow on me as it went along, and, like, Sarfi, I was mostly impressed by, like, Sarfi and, like, her squad. Just, yeah, some interesting performances. Some that I come to expect, a couple that I didn't really expect, and some that I was very, very strongly impressed by, and I would very, very eager to talk about them in particular. All in all, had a good time with this one, and I did enjoy the dub. We'll go more into it in a bit, so props to Jonathan Rigg and his
Gigi?
crew.
I guess I'll start by saying that I didn't even know the name of this show until the beginning of the week, even though we've been planning this for months. And and I got roped in because it is a fairy tale adaptation, which, if you guys don't know, is like kind of like my secret hidden jam. Like, I'm a big proponent of anything that takes a well-known fairy tale and kind of twists it all around, which, if you have a strong stomach, you should watch The Ugly Stepsister. It is Norwegian, and it is disgusting. And if you like horror, that's a Cinderella one that's off the fucking rails. Anyways,
I feel like you should watch the Grimm's Fairy Tale show from last year on Netflix. It's very similar.
I did watch most of it. I loved it. I loved that show. I thought it was twisted. So when I saw the OP for this, I thought it was a reverse harem. I was like,
oh no.
I was like, what animals is she gonna romance this whole time? Sorry, whoever's editing this, you're gonna have to cut around my coughs. So I didn't know what to think going into this show. Other than that, which is to say, this show is not a reverse harem. It is the complete opposite of anything I thought it was going to be. And I will give a little bit of props. The AI subtitles were only used in the first core, to which I didn't learn the main character's name until the second core, because they called her Lady Spotify.
Okay.
Lady Sorry, like Sorry, Lady Sophie. I couldn't.
Gigi
Yes.
learned what I learned on Excel Saga, which is those automated captions are just nonsense if you're trying to do hard Japanese or fantasy names.
Oh, like they were bad. I thought they were bad in Given, but this is way worse. So okay, finally we got Sarfi, and so if you're looking for a straight up fairy tale adaptation, as in like a time period script, this is what you're gonna get. It is straight up fairy tale / political / kingdom / yeah, I guess a period dub would be like the best that I could say about the script, except for the writing for the little bird who sounds like Joey Wheeler, which I think is the best writing in the entire show.
It's less Joey Wheeler and more like your New York Union uncle.
Oh my god, Chris is calling him Joe Pesci.
It's true. Chris is correct.
Chris is pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, I made him watch most of this for me, including the last episode, which we watched about 10 minutes ago, and he slept through the entire thing. So I feel bad that I made him sit through this whole thing with me. It's true to form. If you like the writing, and now that you said she also wrote Anne Shirley and Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent, this is like the straight up fantasy, like dead to the point writing. And if that is your thing, hey, more props to you. The directing, I thought a lot of the choices were very interesting. I want to know like how this got cast. But you said 2023, right? Because I'm thinking about all these people who moved to Los Angeles, and I can't remember if it was pre or post 2023 that they all moved.
I believe
I think the only person who moved was the voice of Elia. If I'm correct.
I believe it was Elia, and I think Amit did both move to LA.
Yeah.
It was definitely before they both moved, yes.
Okay. That makes more sense than if it was an in-house dub like that. So I, was grateful for a lot of the casting choices because they did sound very true to form. And I was pleasantly surprised to hear a couple of them. And let me tell you, some of those dog boys. Ooh, girls, boys, those dog boys. 30 out of 10.
Oh, we're getting to them first.
So they
go first.
Yeah, the casting I thought was really good. The direction was pretty much straight on. Like if you're looking for Blue Lock direction in this, you're not gonna get it. But Jonathan Drigg portfolio is so varied right now that I'm really glad I had a chance to hear this, to compare it to other things that he's directed, like Blue Lock, like Galaxy Next Door, I think is the blonde girl show.
Yes,
yeah,
a Galaxy Next Door, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad I got to hear this because it shows just how he can take anime of such different genres and produce something that's really well-rounded and well-produced. Is it specifically catered to me, like Blue Lock was? No. But that is okay, because other people enjoy it and love that kind of stuff, and I get it. So that's, what I have to say about that stuff. I think they both did a really good job. So it just, to my personal taste, it's like you look at artwork and you say, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. It's not to my taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this show was a ride, man. Those dog boys.
It was much more of a pinky up with your tea show than you expected.
Yeah, I really thought I was gonna be like, which dog boy is she gonna like hump next? I don't know.
Oh my god.
Well, but you
know what?
Sorry.
There is a manga like that. It's called Outbrighted.
Oh, okay.
It is straight up smut. I'm not even gonna hide it. It is straight up smut. Also, a lot less furry, but more hot boys.
What's it called?
Oh, perfect.
All trying to get one girl pregnant.
Oh, fun.
Just things that you can pick up from Seven Seas.
Yeah, how it do.
Bless.
It's part of their steamship label. And listen here, I'm not gonna knock anyone's kink except for the manga about making a dude jizz diamonds. That's just fucking weird.
Oh, that one's just like, oh, that's rough.
That just makes me uncomfortable.
Wow.
It's called The Witches of Adamas. So I had been wanting to sit and talk about this for a while, and I actually did give the show a couple W's when it came out, because I genuinely think that it introduced me to an actor that I think should be having a quite prolific career going forward. And honestly, for a male lead in a shoujo show, had probably one of the single most galaxy-brained ass castings of all time. I think the casting on this show is so unique. I think that this is a dub that took a lot of risks with the people they got outside of Sarafi. I think Sarafi is by far the most safe cast person in the show, but it's still a great performance. But I genuinely think the big thing on this show was the risks that Jonathan took in the casting department, because they all paid off really well. The writing is not something I terribly thought of a lot during the show, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. Nothing stood out as being kind of egregious against the time period, nor did anything seem like it was kind of awful, like kind of off. Like, I am one of the people who, when they watch a time period thing, like, absolutely hate when modern slang's in it, because it just throws me out unless it's supposed to be anachronistic. That's just me. I love historical fiction manga. I love, like, rewriting history kind of stuff. But I also genuinely, am a slut for the mouse. So, granted, Beauty and the Beast, maybe Beauty and the Beast is my sister's favorite Disney movie. Let's go with that.
Beauty and the Beast is my favorite.
We all know what my favorite is. I'm a furry. We all know what my favorite one is.
Is it The Lion King?
Okay.
Yes.
See, I was going to say it was probably going to be Lion King, but also we were just talking about Beauty and the Beast, where it's like, Sacrificial Princess is kind of Beauty and the Beast for not cowards.
I can say that in more ways than one. I mean, listen, no offense if you think, let's be real, Prince Adam, kind of okay face Disney prince-wise, he's not the prettiest. My door is completely open, and my mother can hear every word of what I'm saying.
Hi, Mom.
Hold on 1 second. I think the cat knocked it open.
Now I feel like we have to go around the room and say what everybody's favorite Disney movie is.
I am Team Beauty and the Beast. What are you, Team Gigi?
Yeah, I know you can.
You'll never guess.
Come on.
What would Gigi's? Are you a Cinderella slut?
No.
Okay, damn.
We're going around the room guessing everybody's favorite Disney movie.
My mother, end quote, you don't need to close the door. I can hear you anyway. Bailey opened, one of the dogs opened
That
the
makes
door.
sense.
No, so where was I? Anyway, so yeah, I really like the direction on this, and I have to kind of agree with Gigi about Jonathan Briggs' portfolio. I might have not seen a bunch of, everything in there. But I have watched Blue Lock, and while we haven't done an episode on it, I think Blue Lock is probably one of the best modern dubs that has come out of Crunchyroll.
Yay!
And I will say he also did another show whose dub I genuinely like. I believe he took over as the main director through a majority of it. And that was, he did Twilight Out of Focus dub.
Yes, he did.
And that's also very good. And I promise one day we will get our episode out about that, because I need to talk about one of my favorite lines in English dubbing last year. Sweet Aphrodite on the half shell. I really like this dub. I really liked a lot of the casting. I like Jonathan's work. I genuinely am shocked that this is the first time we've ever talked about Jonathan Briggs.
I had to look to check.
With that going hit, I'm genuinely convinced it is. Yeah, that we've actually, done an entire episode on something he's, directed.
Yeah, because our Blue Lock episode keeps getting put on hiatus.
Listen, I'll do the Blue Lock episode even if it means I have to watch the fucking PowerPoint.
Oh my... No, we're only doing season 1. That shit's too long.
Okay.
I'll need a separate episode for season 2. There's too many hot boys.
I mean...
We're waiting...
Yeah, we can talk...
We're waiting on Patrick.
Our audio podcast is slideshow enough as it is.
I mean, anyway. So let's move on to our first set of characters, who are all of the bad boys. First up, we have Elia. He is Sarafi's childhood friend who tries to get her back. He hates all beast kind and is going to win her heart until he realizes he can't do shit against 8 feet of fur and claws.
And floof. Don't forget the floof. That's the important part.
And floof.
Yeah, gotta say, making Gusto an indie anime boy, that's a choice.
Yeah. Yeah, he lost his entire village to a beast attack, so that's why. Then we have Fenrir and Glepnir. who are the epitome of, fellas, if a relationship like that lasts more than 4 years, you're homosexuals.
I truly
Fenrir
did not expect toxic dog yaoi.
I liked it.
Oh, I liked it too. Fenrir is the 12th prince of the Lost Wolf Kingdom, who, as a child, got his ass beat by Richard, and by got his ass beat, I mean full on pulled a Kakarot. See my power, as he tried to go Super Saiyan 3 and then went bleh. So his parents cut off his ear, and abandoned him. Gleipnir is a slave that he basically bought and gave a name. And when Fenrir got his ear cut off, he cut out his own eye. And Fenrir basically said, my entire life, your life belongs to me now. However, if I was to die in battle to Leonhardt, kill me. Just murk me on the field and take me out. And then there's a Set. Set is a jackal and the head minister of the head judge kind of in the kingdom. He was born to one of the king's concubines, but the prior king before Richard's quote-unquote dad, basically fudged it and said, this is my son. So he attempts to take over the beast kingdom by exposing that Leonhardt is born of a human and a beast. Except for when he gets power, he decides to go, we're gonna segregate all the races, fuck the lizard people, fuck the frog people, just welcome to segregation.
He's basically like, what if, like, your nefarious eunuch was also, like, a black mage from Fire Emblem, and was also in charge of, Fur Ice.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't understand any of that.
Okay, sure. So, playing Elia is Clifford Chapin, playing Fenrir is David Machunga, playing Gleipnir is Zan Kramer, and playing Set is Sean Lurtno. Clifford Chapin is no stranger to us. You know him as characters such as Soichiro Tachibana in Aoshi, Soul in Chaos Dragon. You know what, let's just go for fucking maximum damage. Keiki Kiryu in Hensky.
Where's the love?
David Matrunga is also no stranger to us. You'll know his characters such as Bearholt Hoover. I'm gonna tell you what I told him. In Attack on Titan, Iki Nico in Blue Lock, and of course Shoto Todoroki in My Hero Academia, which I'm going to mention because one of the first things I thought of when I heard Fenrir speak was, this is just feral Todoroki.
Oh my god.
Zan Kramer, you'll know for his roles such as Froggy 2 in The Daily Life of the Immortal King, Shuji Kautaka Kizuna Green and the Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world, and Ash Half in The Witch and the Beast. Sean Lurtno, you'll know his characters such as Benedict in Bye Bye Earth, Kazuhiro Mizuno in MF Ghost, and Kirito Kujo in Twilight Out of Focus.
Yay.
His name's Kirito Kujo?
Yes. Gigi, for you're wondering which Twilight Out of Focus boy he is the one with the mask and all the piercings.
I knew there was a thing. Yeah, okay. We have a type.
You know what? I'll go first because I'm talking.
Go for it.
Clifford Chapin as Elia is kind of... I hate to say this, Elia is kind of more of a character in the front of the show, and I genuinely enjoy his performance, but I don't have a ton to say on it, unfortunately. I do love the episode where he is followed around by the tiny baby armadillo child, who I'd die for. Played by Trisha Mellon.
As it turns out, the best way to fix an edgy boy is to make him lone wolf and cub with a cute little child.
So what you're telling me is get that edgy boy pregnant.
Yes.
You know, Okay, the floor is yours.
No. The goth girl is not. You're not gonna get the goth girl pregnant. She's gonna get you pregnant. But yeah, no, I genuinely enjoyed it. It kind of had that kind of like gruff, like it was a little bit lighter than Bakugo, but it kind of had that sense to it. There is no heterosexual explanation for whatever the fuck is going on between Fenrir and Gleipnir. I love that kind of growl that Dave Matranga brings to Fenrir. That dog definitely got bit by something and probably needs to go out. Let's be real. If Leonhardt wasn't gonna do it, let's all be glad that Gleipnir gave him the old Yeller treatment. Except for there was no behind the shed.
He literally said, "There's only one man I will allow to be inside of me."
They did not see that coming.
That they did not.
But genuinely, I had not really heard Sand Kramer's acting before this, and I was genuinely impressed. I thought that he got a really good, like, gruffness to him. He had this, like, it genuinely put the fear of God in you, but in the hot way. Also, shout out to Danielle Yoshiko Phillips, who played the younger version of Gleipnir.
I was wondering who that was. She sounded cute.
And just, yeah, no, I genuinely enjoyed that kind of, like, bad boy gruff to it. Holy shit, if you weren't a furry, David Matranga could make you one for Fenrir. Yes. Gigi, did you just whisper yeah?
He did.
There is, like, a manic feral craziness to this man's voice. He sounds like, okay, it's time for my allotted Final Fantasy XIV references.
Half an hour. I'm impressed.
Okay, so this is an actual factual line for Final Fantasy XIV that I could 100% see Gleipnir saying, which is, "The hunger to bite down on my jugular, to feel the warmth fill your mouth and run over even as you drink deep." That is the energy that Dave Matranga brings to Fenrir.
Yo, Dave Matranga, you got cameo.
I need you to read this for me.
I'll pay you.
Gigi just sitting here, like, literally about to say, "Throw me to the wolves, I'll make them pregnant."
I'm just gonna send Gigi the clip of the actual guy who says it, because that dude's voice is also really high.
Hell yeah.
And British. But, like, genuinely, I don't think we've all heard, I think, Dave Matranga play, like, a lot of cool-headed guys, so to hear him play this, like, genuinely feral madman who is just hell-bent on killing his enemies is so good, and it's just so, like, ooh, say it again, Mufasa. Ooh. But the standout for me in this was Sean Lortno. Another actor who, like I said, I've only heard him as a little Twinkie BL goth boy. The way that he carried himself with this, like, 100 years old, like, judge attitude, but also with, like, the Vegeta, but if Vegeta had, like, political sense kind of way, and he is just so full of racist malice that is kind of scary how effortless it sounds. Knowing that Sean is definitely not the monster that Set is. Also, I like to shout out the show for having Set go, "This isn't even my final form," and then just fucking explode internally.
I gotta say, I'm intrigued by the fact that you defaulted to calling him the Vegeta, when this is the night of Disney references, and my first thought was Judge Frollo from Hunchback.
Except for he wasn't into Sarafy. If he was super into Sarafy and wanted to fuck her, I'd say it.
Okay, no, I mean, I was going to save it for when I went, but since we were digging Disney references, I I'd say he's more of a Jafar.
Okay, that's a decimal more apt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He is definitely he's oh my god, he is just Jafar. What does that make? What does that make Gleipnir and Fenrir?
Okay. I was gonna say this for when I went because like it just dawned on me. Like, I know I called Ilya Gaston, but that's not. But that's inaccurate. The actual Gaston here is Fenrir.
Yeah. No one's gay.
Wait. Does that mean fucking Gleipnir's, fuck.
LeFou?
Yes!
World's buffest LeFou.
Oh my god. It's Thirst Trap LeFou.
I'll take it.
Dear Josh Dad, please thirst trap.
Oh no! I've been impaled!
Oh my
god.
shit.
That works!
If Olaf posted thirst traps, would that just be like ice water?
Kind of.
Anyway, I'm done. Jet, you talking, go.
Sure. So I guess I'll go in order. Clifford Chapin is Ilya. Like Megan was saying, he doesn't have too much to do with the back half of the show, but I thought he did pretty well in his introduction. Definitely, kind of what you would expect of the whole typical edgy anime boy. Just kind of really, really deep in his hatred, and to his credit, Clifford does a pretty good job of making that hate feel genuine. You can really, you can really get a sense of like why he hates Beastkind so much, and I think that Cliff does a pretty good job of getting that across really well, and how that kind of factors into Leo's relationship with Sarfi, and how he just like can't understand how Sarfi could be okay living among them, and so like it is kind of interesting seeing how the character evolves. And I guess never fully lets go of his hatred, but but I guess kind of come to see that there is both good and bad to beasts in the same way humans are, and I think the evolution there is pretty interesting, and yeah, it is definitely kind of funny that part of that evolution comes in him looking at the cute little armadillo boy. That whole episode was nice.
That cute little armadillo boy solved racism in an edgy, traumatized anime boy. He is the strongest character in the show for that reason alone.
All hail Mallow.
Yeah. And then going into Fenrir and Gleipnir. Not really familiar with Dan Kramer, but I really liked him here. Like Meg was saying, did a pretty good job of making him sound really gruff. And I really liked the tone there, but I also thought he did a pretty good job of getting across the undying loyalty there. So you can definitely tell this is someone who's just really dedicated to his boss, in probably more ways than one. And I thought that did a really good job of getting that across there, and you could get a really strong sense of why he was so dedicated to him. I thought the whole backstory those two shared was pretty tragic, and I really liked the dynamic. And of course, David Matranga as Fenrir. I mean, it's David Matranga doing like Wolf Gaston. It's just, it's just such beautiful casting. They did a really good job with the growls, just like really, just really intimidating. And I really do like the way his character, like, not necessarily evolves, but the way you kind of get more of a sense of him. He's just like when he's introduced, you just kind of see him as like this guy who's just really aggressive, wants to take over the kingdom, just enact all this violence, and which just makes it so funny. Like when he decides to kidnap Sarfi and hold her hostage, and rather than Sarfi being intimidated, she just kind of dunks on him constantly.
She calls him a bitch to his face.
Yeah, it's just really kind of funny seeing how poorly he takes that.
He literally is like, "Damn, bitch, I can't please you ever. What has he got that I don't?"
And it was kind of funny how he takes an interest in Sarvi, just like purely because of how much of a hater she is. It's great.
It's literally just like, oh, what do you have? Oh, I'm his lover. I want you. I will claim you as my own. All right, bet. Try me, fucker.
Yeah, I really like Dave's performance. Again, a good amount of edge. Also did a pretty good job of getting the tragedy of the character across pretty well. You can definitely see, how this guy kind of got where he is, even if his actions here are pretty reprehensible. But yeah, I thought it made for a pretty interesting character, and I really like what David brought to the table. But again, set out here is definitely shot as set, and I gotta say, rewatching the show, I really found the character particularly interesting. Like the first time I watched the show, I will admit, it might have just been because I was watching it week to week, so I kind of forgot the character existed. But literally when he showed up in the second half, I kind of forgot this guy had appeared at all. It was definitely interesting going back to the show and be like, oh, okay, you do kind of see him here and there in the first half, kind of skulking in the background. And I think that works really well, because you can tell he's plotting something, or that he's at least a little shifty, but you just kind of put it in the back of your body, you don't really think too much of him. But then as you kind of get deeper and deeper into the show, you just kind of see him scheming more and more. And then he gets to the climax, and he lays out all his cards on the table, and Sean's performance really evolves. Does a really good job of kind of, again, yeah, I think the Jafar comparisons are pretty accurate. Just you can hear him just kind of doing, scheming under his breath constantly, and you can really feel that in Sean's performance. Just this constant sense of he really, really, really wants to stab the king, but he just can't do it quite yet. And then when he finally gets the opportunity, and he goes mad with power, you can just really hear that shift in Sean's performance, and he does a pretty good job of going over the top with it, and it's just pretty entertaining.
He gets what he wants, and his immediate first rule is racism.
Yeah, pretty much. And again, I think he also does a good job of getting across the tragedy of the character. And the whole circumstances of his birth, where again, it's hard to feel too sorry for this guy, but again, you do at least kind of understand how he got to where he did, and Sean did a pretty good job of getting that across really well, and that's what he brought to the table here. All four of these bad guys, just real good performances.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Gigi, would you like to get pregnant to the wolves?
You can go first if you want to let me wait a little while.
Oh, sorry. Are you building the anticipation?
I just learned of this thing called edging.
All right. Fair enough. Okay, so I do enjoy Ilia for Cliff. I think he does a good job. Cliff's made a very good career of basically being the angry, gruff guy in anime a lot of the time. And I think Ilia does a good job being what is basically the tragic Sasuke anime boy in this fantasy Disney world. But, yeah, it's hard to really... Racism is bad, but trauma does play at least a factor in why one might be racist. That does seem like that is a thing that would happen. Yeah, he would be biased to demons from witnessing demon bandits kill his family. That does seem like that would mess you up as a child, maybe fuck with your values. And then he grew up and saw, oh wait, beasts have kids too, and they're also kids that are innocent and had nothing happen to them too. They don't grow up like that. They just, the circumstances around them. And he learns moral gray morality. So, you know what? Proud of him. But also, dude stood no chance up against Leonhardt. Just, could not compete. What? Does the spider tattoo do anything for you? No. I have a giant, fluffy tail. You can't win against the fluffy tail. It's a really fluffy tail,
Now, if it was a spider womb tat... Could you imagine? It's gonna be really cursed, and I'm very sorry. Imagine if a dude had a tattoo of a spider, but the back end of the spider was pointing down towards his dick, so every time he came, it would look like thread was shooting out.
That is quite literally Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter.
Stop it. It's the other way.
Yes, it's pointing to his asshole.
Insert spider web.
Okay,
here.
literally the Phantom Troop. It would not surprise me if Crollo has a fucking Phantom Troop thing, like, on his pubes.
Anyway, I'm sorry about that. I should never speak again.
No, that sounds about right. Anyways, we will stop being cursed. So I will move on to... Oh, no. Okay. So... Toxic Dog Yowie. Zan Kramer is really good as Gleipnir, which all I can think about is the show. So there are 2 characters in this show that are named after other anime I have watched in the past.
Thank God somebody said it.
Or at least Norse mythology.
I recognize that they must be, like, mythological sense. Like, I almost guarantee, like, Gleipnir is, like, a mythological thing. But all I can think about is the show where a guy turns into, like, a dog costume and a girl goes inside of him. And we all chanted Fetish Porn Blood Pack to do an episode on that many years ago. That's what I think of when I hear Gleipnir.
I'm glad I never watched that.
It's great, but it's actually great. Do you want to know what Gleipnir is, technically?
I would like to know, actually.
Gleipnir is the iron rope created by the Norse gods to bind the demon wolf Fenrir.
See, I knew Fenrir was a wolf. Okay. That's, like, normally, like, a wolf thing. But the other anime is Jormungand.
We'll go into that in a bit.
Yeah, so, but I'm glad I know what Gleipnir is now. Okay, thank you.
So Fenrir literally...
Very specifically, Fenrir is one of the children of Loki.
So by donning him the name Gleipnir, he has literally chained him to his fate forevermore.
Yes.
As an aside, demons don't really seem to have names. They mostly have titles that they adopt. It's mostly, like, names are given to them by people that actually, like, care for them. I think that's an interesting way to approach names, where it's like, okay, some of these are titles, names are, like, for those that are loved and given love.
Well, except for, I'm assuming that, like, they actually do have names, because, when we get to it, Anubis has an actual name.
Oh, right, so. Sirius, yes.
Yes.
But yes, Gleipnir, Zan Kramer, I very much enjoy. The fact that he's tough, but he's relatively calm, collected, and, like, calculating. It's like, he is not a mad king. He's not even, like, the mad jester. He is loyal. He is loyal to a fault. His downfall is because he wants to grant his king the world, even if what his king wants is wrong or poorly thought out. It's like, at the end of the day, it's not really battle of the fittest. You just wanted your anime rematch fight. That's all it really came down to.
Yeah, that's why I called him Vegeta.
Okay. Oh, you were calling him the Vegeta. Okay.
No, I was calling Fenrir the Vegeta.
That makes more sense. I thought you were calling Set the Vegeta, and that's why I was like, wait, okay.
No, Fenrir's Vegeta.
Okay, yes, that makes much more sense. But... would that make Gleipnir Bulma? Yes, actually, because, yes, actually, because she's the one... He's the one that's actually, like, putting the plans together. He's getting the insurgents ready. He's probably the one that's, like, actually getting the money, too, while he's, like, angsting in his castle. You think he puts the collar on Tuesdays?
Jesus Jesus Christ. Andrew, talk about
Okay,
the dub.
Zan's really good. He's like calm, cool, but like very like distinguished in that sense, where it's like he is very much chiseled from like a lot of strife and hardship, but you can tell that he's willing to face it all for the sake of his boy. And then there's Dave Matranga, which is just, oh, this is just a gruff, feral, mad motherfucker, and it's like, this is a show that is surprisingly like romantic and like pining, but like probably Fenrir putting Sarafi in the Leia chain is probably like the closest to sauciest thing the show has going for it, and Sarafi is having none of it. She's not even like playing along with it. She's just like, alright, tough guy, what you gonna do to me? You ain't gonna do shit. My boy Leo's cooler, he's hotter, he's kinder, dick is way bigger, you can't do shit to me. And you can tell that makes him really mad. Fenrir's really mad by that. And then, of course, just the violent blood. Like, I was shocked to see the show go through, like, a bloody claw and, like, fangs tearing into each other. It's like, fuck this magic shit. We're gonna do this old-fashioned style. We're gonna bite and scratch the shit out of each other until one of us bleeds to death. I was like, oh, this is pretty raw. And Dave Matranga really knows how to go raw and hard. Which, yeah, fucking feral monstrosity that is Fenrir. And then there's Set, which is... This is my first time talking about Sean's work. I really like Sean a lot as well. I think there's a great way of... The fact that he plays this unassuming character from the shadows. And he plays him, like, calm, collected, and very unassuming. You're like, okay, this guy might show up and do something. But almost like in a way that you actively do forget about him before he plays his card and plays his hand. So when he goes all out, I was like, oh shit. Oh, this jackal's got some fangs to him. And I was like actually really impressed by just how much death and tragedy Sean gives to Seth by the end of the show. And I was very impressed. I definitely want to check out more of Sean's work after this in particular. Yeah. Good group of bad boys.
All right, Gigi.
All right, I've had a couple minutes to compose myself. Before I begin, I would like to give a big shout out to Ocelot, who is the best human boy.
Oh yeah.
Ocelot and for bagging his goth baddie.
He got the hot god GF. Good for him.
I was very confused towards the end and thought it was Cliff Chapin grown up, and I was like, that doesn't sound like Cliff Chapin. Like that, there's no way. So I figured it out. Ilia has the tattoo.
Yes.
Ocelot is the hot, beautiful, wholesome boy.
He's the
Normally
golden
I would
retriever.
go the other. Yeah, normally I'd go in the other direction, but Ocelot, best human boy. Okay, we got that taken care of. The first time I heard Ilia, I was like, holy shit, is that Bakugo? And then we couldn't figure it out, and then I
Did you
cheated.
just assume it couldn't be Bakugo, and then you're like, oh shit, it's Bakugo?
Because I thought he moved.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was like,
figured.
why does he sound so much like Bakugo? And then it was Bakugo. Shout out to this group of people who has the most kabedons in this anime. Which, we liked that. Ilia with the kabedon, 20 out of 10. Cliff Chapin was really good here. I did really like the part with the little baby armadillo. It was super cute. Ilia was in the running to be best human boy until Ocelot appeared. So I think actually that he was the only human boy until Ocelot appeared. So good on ya. I really liked it. I don't know. I think I like... Here's where I'm gonna sound like weird, is because immediately I recognized Cliff Chapin. Did not know that was David Matranga until I literally stared at it right now, like before we started
Good
recording. And Todoroki's my favorite, so I'm like, why did I not catch feral Todoroki. Like, I didn't hear it at all. So, if I could give a W out again, it would go to David Matranga for Black Magic for Fenrir, because zero idea that it was him. He was so fucking hot as that wolf. I knew as soon as I saw him in the opening, and I was like, ooh, my spidey sense is tingling. I was like, who's the hot wolf boy? Gotta love it. I'm not a big dog person. I'm allergic to dogs, but Lord knows I take 20 Benadryl to be in a little puppy pile with the 3 of them in this category.
Just deep throating the Benadryl while you're taking the Red Rockets.
Dude, I was being like cute, and you just like hop straight to there, huh?
Gigi! Who the fuck we kidding here?
Do you not watch those BuzzFeed videos where they put puppies into like the celebrities and they sit there and they play with the puppies and ask them questions?
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I
but
would put Fenrir's little head on my lap and just pet him. I like the bad boys. Who are we kidding? Zan Kramer was super good too. I have no idea who you are, but you were really good. I actually kind of like enjoyed Zan more than I enjoyed Set. But Set was so mean. I had no idea who that was. Like, I keep thinking in my head, like older sounding anime voice actors, and I was like, I can't place it. Like, I couldn't do it. So Sean, bravo, my friend. Like, that was awesome. This whole group right here is like the MVP group for me. Like, everybody else did a fabulous job, and I am going to talk like some super awesome stuff about one person in particular coming up, but man, I didn't think I was a dog girl, but I guess I am a dog girl. I don't know, man. I just like wolfies.
Taking the horny conversation out for a second, I do feel like you would be a good dog mom if you ever gave him a chance.
I'm allergic. I tell Chris like every other week, I want a puppy. He's like, then you have to clean up its poop, and I say, never mind.
That's why you need to get a hairless cat so it can shit in a box for you.
I don't want to pick up box poop either. Like,
that's
what Chris is.
That's why you get the robot.
Okay.
Litter robots. Also, there are hypoallergenic.
I know, but I'm still allergic to them.
Oh,
it's weird.
All right. Are we all good with the section?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for my puppy time. I will leave it up to
I apologize for taking your puppy time and making it feral wolf red rocket time. That was my bad.
But I'll still pay David Matranga on Cameo to say that line that Megan said earlier, because holy shit.
Oh, watch the entire clip. It is probably one of the most fairly horny things I've ever listened to in my life.
Let's move on. It's odd here.
So let's talk about every princess needs her Mrs. Potts, her girl squad. So let's talk about Sarafi's girl squad. We have Amit. She is a princess of crocodile people. She is a very good girl and very shy, and thought she had no chance with ever staying in the palace until she became Sarafi's lady-in-waiting, basically. We have Sai and Klops, a pair of linked little Cyclops monsters who were basically assigned to watch Sarafi and everything she does, and kind of becomes her little mascot squad. And then there is Bennu. The first big task that Sarafi has is to summon a quote-unquote holy beast to show that she is the queen. So she summons a phoenix who can heal everything, but because of her power and the fact that she is human, it only transforms into big state every so often. Other times it is a tiny little jive talking bird that only she can hear. So playing Amit is Brittany Lauda. Playing playing Klops is Christian Eros. Playing Sai is Lizette Monique Diaz. And playing Bennu is Christopher Guerrero. Brittany Lauda you'll know as characters such as the Doctor in Akudama Drive. She is Saki in Girlfriend. And she is also... I'm trying to find one that's very fun that's not just like one we talk about all the time. Azusa Komagome and Warlords of Sigafridra, which is an episode I've been wanting to get off the ground for fucking years. Christian Eros has played characters such as Sir Warp and Dragon Ball Daima. He is Kakushin and Spencer in One Piece 1 TV 199. I guess that's the One Piece TV show. And Hope in Black Summoner. Lizette Diaz, you'll know as characters such as... I'm saying that one last, it's funny. Jahe and the Great Jahe Will Not Be Defeated. Elsa and Sasaki in Peeps. And because this is probably one of the greatest anime names of all time, Oliminus the Hellcat and Chillin' in Another World with My Level 2 Super Cheat Powers.
Wow.
Animes.
That's just a fucking name of all time.
Fucking anime, man.
We have Christopher Guerrero, you'll know his characters such as Senya and Buchigiri, as the narrator in, excuse me? Okay. Because they put A&N put the Japanese name for this, I was like, the fuck is this ass series? He is the narrator in Life with an Ordinary Guy Who's Reincarnated into a Total Fantasy Knockout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Joe Togame in Windbreaker. Best boy.
Okay.
So, who would like to go first?
I want to take the reins for this section just because fucking Chris Guerrero as a fucking New York construction worker guy is so fucking funny. It's like
I'm healing over here.
It's just like, out of all the things I was expecting from the show, I was not expecting the little fat mascot bird to basically just be like a mix of like Krusty the Clown and like your New York uncle who's telling you about the fucking Mets.
It's all about the Mets, baby.
But also it's like, it's got a little bit of Krusty the Clown where it's like, alright kids, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm a mighty phoenix. I come back from the dead. I can't die. And it's like, let's get you to bed, uncle.
Stop, he's already dead.
God. But no, just, there's something about, I love that the girl squad, it consists of like the lady in waiting, the little mascots, and then just like fucking like Union Man here. It's one of the most deranged, inspired choices of, like, as far as, like, voices. Like, I know a lot of Chris Guerrero stuff. Like, I can tell him pretty easily at this point. Even I was still taken aback and like, is that fucking Chris Guerrero? That is not what I expected this character to sound like. Just an insane little guy that he legit does talk like he is from a different show, and that's why it's very funny. But then next to him, you got Cyclops, who have just done nothing wrong in their entire life. They are darling little hellspawns, and I want good things for them. I do like that they are basically, like, quite literally attached. Like, they are a pair. But I do like that they actually do use that in pretty neat ways, where it's like, okay, we gotta keep an eye on Sarafy. Throw Sai at Sarafy so Klops can communicate what's going on to the king. I'm like, okay, that's pretty creative. They're a good little tag team where, like, Christian's got, like, this very soft, oh, hello, sir. It's, I wouldn't say it's, like, nerdy. It's, like, I wouldn't say it's nerdy, but I'd almost say I could see this sounding like a swirly glasses nerd boy in a high school anime voice, you know?
I was not thinking to call it Regal, but Yeah, but I guess nerdy.
I wouldn't say, like, Regal works more for, like, some of the characters we're talking about further. Klops basically sounds like the swirly glasses boy that has an entire encyclopedia about insects. And then Sai is his little sister who he cares for very deeply. And she is doing her best, and she's very cute. Like, I like the fact that, like, they can finish each other's thoughts, but Klopp's got full sentences, and Sai has, like, the little prefix at the end of it. You must go to the palace! Palace!
She ain't got no fucking
She
mouth!
ain't got no mouth, which is impressive that she can even communicate at all through, like, her eye glands. Where does it come from? Where does the voice come from?
She ain't got no fucking mouth. I'm sorry. I think I just broke.
Do the little eyeball things have like poop holes? Does she talk through her poop hole?
Andrew, it's called a cloaca.
Does she talk through her cloaca?
I don't know. The mangaka didn't think about it, and neither should you.
Oh, are you saying the author of this does a Rumiko Takahashi? What happens to Ranma when he's a girl and gets pregnant? I don't think about that, and neither should you. Anyway.
I don't know. I don't think the author of this ever thought about buttholes. Not for Sai and Klops, you fucking weirdo.
I'm going to say, I don't believe this author has never thought about buttholes. I don't believe they have thought about Sai and Klops' butthole. I agree there. I'm letting you linger on that. I do legit like Lizette and Christian. I do think they are pretty interesting as like newer faces, but I do think they have a lot of character for what Sai and Klops do, and I think they are very charming little additions to the show. And then there's Princess Ami, which Brittany Lana is just playing the best character. She is the best character. Ami, I love Ami. I love the fact that she is just this little crocodile princess that it... You know what she reminds me of? She feels like there's like this little girl character in later Alligator that's like really into anime and like has like plays at the gachapon machine. I feel like Princess Ami is an OC that character would write.
I will take your word because I've never played a later Alligator.
Okay. I'm just thinking about... Yeah.
Which, yeah, cock your bullet. Nothing, never mind, my bad.
But no, Brittany Lauda is adorkable. She is a precious cinnamon roll. She plays this girl, this love-struck maiden who's doing the best for her gal pal. And just, like I said, in a world where it's like, Sarafi seems like she doesn't have a lot of people in her corner, she needed somebody like Ami to be there for her. And it's just, they are just a precious little gal squad. I love Amit. I love her. The only thing I hate... Okay. I have a couple of complaints about the way the show ends. Probably my biggest one is I do not believe for a second that Amit and Jormungand have not fucked or... I don't know. Do they shoot, like, their shot on a pile of eggs? I don't actually know how gators reproduce.
Andrew, cloacas kissing. Also, okay, first of all, snakes and reptiles have peners.
Okay.
They have penises. They just are inside them. Therefore, yes, they would have penis in whole sex.
So yes, I don't believe that this show could have gone as long as it did, and these two did not have reptilian penis and whole sex.
I don't know why I do this to myself.
Yellow?
I'm good. No, just keep going.
Okay.
Just... Yeah. No, I agree. Amit, best girl. But yeah, Snakes and lizards and stuff have peeners.
I learned something new. But yeah, I like...
Why is it me who always has to teach you about animal biology? Why is it always me?
I don't know anything about animal biology.
Same
Look,
here.
sometimes in friend groups, we are all cursed having to be that friend who knows that thing that must inform all the other people about the things.
Is that why yours is NTR?
I don't even own a Superman shirt, just saying.
What?
Wouldn't it be a Spider-Man shirt?
What are you talking about?
Okay. Okay, Gigi, have you ever seen Rick and Morty?
No. Well, yes, but I don't pay attention to it.
Okay.
Okay, good. So you're watching Rick and Morty the
You
correct
are
way.
watching
I'm
Rick
like-
and Morty the correct way, yes.
Chris watches it and I do crafts. This is how my life is.
Anyways, there's like a whole thing where like Jerry's parents are in a relationship with another guy where like Jerry's mom does it with the other guy while Jerry's dad watches in the closet with a Superman shirt on.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, do you have any more thoughts? Ian?
I'm good. Y'all can take over.
Who would like to go next?
Sure. I guess I'll go. I'll start with Cyclops. I really like what Chris and Edward brought here. I thought they made a pretty good pair. I thought their performances bounced off each other really well. Chris had definitely had the most dialogue of the two, so I think his performance stood out a little more. And I really, I like the sort of voice he had. I guess Andrew was right in that he does kind of sound a little nerdy, but I think he does a pretty good job of kind of being in Sophie's corner, kind of helping her to learn a little more about the world, since no one else really willing to tell her anything. And while Lizette doesn't have too much to say as Sai, I think she does a pretty good job of making Sai sound really adorable. Really just trying her best to look out for Klops and Sarfi. These two are just a really fun pair throughout the show, and they're definitely a pretty interesting JoJo friend group. And we got Chris Guerrero as Bennu, and but this is definitely a very different sounding Chris Guerrero performance. New York Uncle is definitely a very odd tone of voice to go for here, but it really works. He's just really great at sounding sassy, and I really just love the way he bounces off of. Also, not even Sarfi, just like pretty much everyone. It's like just really good sassy uncle energy. Just always has the last word in anything, which really makes it funny that Sarfi is the only one who can hear him, and it's just so beautiful watching him just tell off everyone else and no one ever knows what he's saying. It's great. But it's also kind of clear that while he is sassy, he does still care for Sarfi in his own way. And I think that Chris Guerrero does get the carrying sound across really well. And I really like the character a lot. But of course, the standout here is definitely Brittany Lauda as Princess Ami. Like I was saying, definitely best girl in the show for me. She's just, she's so adorable, which feels like it should be a weird thing to say about a lizard girl, but it just, she's so precious. I just love the character so much. She's just delightfully charming. Does a really good job of being a really supportive friend. I really love the way her relationship with Sarfi evolves, and how the two of them just become such fast friends, and how much she's willing to go out to look out for her. And of course, I love her whole relationship with Jormungand, and the whole one-sided crush there is really adorable. And I love how you get to see that relationship evolve, and Jormungand just kind of slowly kind of grow to appreciate her more, and I think that relationship is really sweet.
Jormungand is
really
so
wanna like to
smooth,
see-
but he's so dumb.
Pretty much. She's just a really supportive friend, really willing to go out on life and live for her friends, even when they really try to keep her out of things. And I really like how well Brittany Blauner gets that Borderlands across. This is a very odd JoJo friend group, but I really like these characters a lot. They're fun.
Mm-hmm.
Gigi?
So let's talk about the Cyclops things, which, it took me about 4 episodes to realize that their names were Cyclops. I'm sorry, those AI subtitles really fuck with me hard. Like, I just can't understand anything.
They are really, it's really rough. Like, you want to go on nightmare mode, put on the first episode of Excel Saga. Feel your brain melt out your ears.
I don't want to harp on it too much because they did get fixed eventually, but like, I'm one of those people who doesn't like to watch the TV too loud. So like, I literally rely on them to like kind of help me hear things and like figure it out if I can't quite hear it. I know that's weird to say, but I know
exactly what you mean. I actually do.
Like if a show, like I have a hard copy of it and it's dubbed in English, I like to turn the Japanese subtitles on so I can see how close the dub translation is to the Japanese subtitle translation too. I really like to do my shows for this podcast like that, and this wasn't a thing. That's not a thing I could do with this, but anyways, Cyclops, very cute. You know what it reminded me of is that little thing in Ranking of Kings that like scooted around the floor.
Oh, Kage.
Yes. I was like, oh my god, like that's so cute. I liked that there were 2 of them, and they sounded, and I don't mean this in a negative way at all, they sounded very cartoony. And they brought like a little levity to when everything got so heavy in this show that it really needed like a little cartoony part or like a little piece of levity. And I think Cyclops brought that, especially Psy, with like all the little noises she made, like the I'm baby noises. I don't know, she made a lot of cute little noises that reminded me of me when I'm being a brat and I'm like, I'm baby, and I thought it was cute.
No, I hear it.
Chris as Bennu, again, I said this was the best writing in the show because I thought it was hysterical. I needed jokes. I needed some jokes, y'all. At one point I was just like, I will make the jokes myself and I did, but like if I don't get some jokes. And then like I was like, who is this little bird? I somehow had like blacked out. Not really, but like I was like, I saw her get the phoenix. I was like, who's this little ass bird? And why is he talking like Joey Wheeler? I thought it was so funny. Oh my god. And then again, Chris was like, no, Joe Pesci. And I was like, okay, that is great. I want to know why. Look, Jono, Chris, if you are by some grace of God listening to this episode, why does Bennu talk like that? Because that was the best choice anyone ever made in the booth that day. 30 out of 10. Loved it. And Brittany as Amit, man, I don't think I've listened to Brittany do a lot of girl voices, but holy crap, they can go like super girly, like squealing, screaming in that like upper register that it's just like, oh my god, I get it. Like, you love him. 30 out of 10. That's amazing. Like, I guess I'm just used to them doing so many little boy voices, and directing and writing, obviously, with their own studio, that I think I've only heard Brittany do a girl voice who's not a baby in, what's that show that I didn't like? Not Rent a Girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Yeah. Man, we binged that like one New Year's Eve, like super drunk at my friend's.
That is the exact scenario to watch a show like that.
It was crazy, but I was just like, I think that's the only time I've ever heard Brittany in that kind of register. So this is kind of new for me. And if I have heard it previously, I apologize. It's been a long 2 weeks. I've been super sick. But they did a really good job. Like, I liked me. That little, was she alligator, crocodile? I still can't tell the difference, y'all. See, Megan, I don't know the difference between an alligator and a crocodile.
Well, first of all, you see an alligator later, and you see a crocodile in a while.
Okay, thank you.
But no, the actual thing is that alligators are kind of more like round and stubby on the nose, and crocodiles are a little bit longer. Also, crocodiles are much meaner.
I know, never smile at a crocodile. No, you can't get friendly with a crocodile. Don't be taken in by their welcome grin. He's imagining how well you'd fit within his skin. So she's a crocodile.
Yeah, she, like, a legitimate crocodile would absolutely, like, beat the literal shit out of you. A gator is a swamp puppy.
Okay, perfect. Well, Brittany was very good. It went to this register that I really needed the subtitles for. When Amit talks really quickly, and I was like, oh my god, I need it. Please, I want to know. Like, I want to hear if there's a joke, and I can't, because my brain is not computing this.
Even if she is a crocodile,
a lot of medicine.
Even if she is a crocodile, Amit's entire energy is swamp puppy.
You're not wrong. I think her little romance with Jormungand is super cute, if not that productive. But
he's trying his best.
I know there's a sequel series. They gotta get together during that. Come on.
Oh my gosh. I think the performance here was very sweet. Like, it just, like, screamed saccharine to me, and this whole little group, like, I really needed it to bring levity to all of the wolf racism and the chains and the eaten people. I needed them in this anime.
They're eating her. So I'll go first with Bennu. Bennu is definitely very much I think, you either really like it or really don't like the performance character on it, because it is so wildly out there.
With you.
Genuinely, at points, I forgot Bennu was a character. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right, the bird fucking talks. But I did like Chris's performance. I thought it was very fun. I thought it was very charming. It is kind of everything you really want in, like, a little mascot character. Good job to my cousin Bennu. Cyclops. So when I did dubbies a couple years ago, I did give Lizette and Christian my Dynamic Duo Award because I thought they were just so perfect together. I thought that Christian really carried himself well for being a fairly newer actor to the scene. And that he worked off Lizette so well, especially with how cutesy Lizette's voice is, that he was also very cute. Like, I'm not gonna say he wasn't adorable, because let's be real, he was super cute. They were both super cute. But the way that they interacted with each other really gave a sense like these two had been playing like a comedic duo for a very long time. Even when in anime, they're not recording at the same time. And then there is Brittany Lauda as Amit. Amit is probably the best girl in the show, even better than our leading woman. She is absolutely adorable, and I love how you can hear Brittany put Amit's anxiety into full view. Because a lot of Amit's things is that she doesn't believe that she is good enough to be with everybody because she's not strong or not smart, or pretty enough. But she always is the one who is the one to be the one to step up when Sarafi needs it most. And that's why she's a good girl. Like, when she quite literally stabs herself to cause a blood pact to go out.
Right?
Or knocking a dude over the head with a vase. But the cutest scene with her is when she gives Jormungand the charm and he gives it back, and she's just like moping and freaking out that he doesn't like her like that because he gave it back. And Sarafi's like, no girl, it's not that he hates you, it's that he's ashamed that he got hurt and he thinks he failed you. And she's like, that is the hottest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's really cute.
It is very cute.
So, like, that's the thing is, I think it's so great that Brittany gets to play someone so cutesy, because I have heard Brittany play, like, female characters before. Very specifically, like, I brought up their work in, Warlords of Siegfrieda, because that is a really cool femme character that they play. But I mean, like, they've also played characters like Toa and D4DJ First Mix, Ichigo and Darling in the Franxx, Yuzuriha and Dr. Stone.
I've never watched any of these.
I just googled Ritsu from Fire Force, but I didn't put Fire Force on there. I just put Ritsu, and it just gave me the Ensemble Stars character.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
Good job, algorithm.
I think.
Good job,
I
Google.
think Ritsu's the one that looks like a nurse that has like hentai protagonist hair covering her eyes.
Yes, yes, that's who they are. Yeah, that's an Akubo character, all right. Yeah, that's an Okubo character, all right. Are we all good to move on to the next section?
Yep.
Did we all go?
Yep.
Oh, of course she's, like, lesbians with Madeline Morris's character.
Based.
Based. But, no, bad. Madeline Morris's character. Oh, wait, that wasn't Madeline Morris's character. That was Caitlin Glass's character. I'm dumb. Oh, no, that is Maddie's character. I'm sorry.
We don't have to keep talking about Fire Force, I promise.
I'm sorry, I'm anxiety. So let's talk about, Leon. Every queen needs her court, every king needs his. So I guess queen. So let's talk about the other member of the queen's, big partition, Landeveld. Landeveld is a Hyenian beast boy who is the only person to show up to be part of Sarafi's personal guard with the intent of using her to get ahead in life so he can have a cushy life, because his mom died from being, racistly treated because the Hyenians had once betrayed the king and stuff. And he learns to not be an asshole, but he's also kind of the best boy. Then there is Jormungand. He is a giant lizard man who is also in love with the meat, who is extremely loyal to Leonhardt, because Leonhardt is the first person who really saw him as, worthy of joining his guard and being the head of his guard because of his skills and not because he was a giant lizard person. And then there is the entire disaster that is Anubis. Anubis is the head. He is basically Leonhardt's right-hand man. He is his advisor. He is his everything. His personal name is Cirrus, but they all go by the title of what they are, and his family is always known as Anubis. So, playing Landeveld is Orion Pitts. Playing Jormungand is Brian Mathis, and playing Anubis is Tom Laughlin. Orion Pitts you'll know as characters such as Shin Pius in AM Driver, June Sazanami in Ensemble Stars, and Ronta in Grimgar of Ashes and Illusions / Fantasy and Ash. Brian Mathis you'll know as characters such as Elias Ainsworth in The Ancient Magus Bride, Minato in Decadence, and Congo in Land of the Lustrous. Tom Laughlin you'll know as characters such as Kasha in The Demon Prince of Momochi House, King Goma in Dragon Ball Daima, and Haruka Fukugawa in Lovely Complex.
Yay!
Alright.
Alright, Jet, you're going first.
Okay, oh, yeah, cool. I actually wanted to go first.
Go for it.
I'll actually, so I think I'll go down the list in terms of, proximity of, I guess, hostility towards RFA. So, first we've got Orion Pitts with Landeveld. And, it's definitely been a bit since I last heard Orion Pitts in anything. but I really liked him here. Besides, does a really good job of playing this very feral hyena boy. And I really like how he starts off, not necessarily hostile towards Harvey, but very dismissive of her. He's clearly just kind of takes the position of being her guard captain because he thinks it'll help him get ahead of life, and he isn't really interested in her specifically. But Sarfi, being Sarfi, just gotta manage to slowly win him over. And I think Uriah does a pretty good job of getting the evolution across pretty well. Gradually learning to trust her over the course of a few episodes because we see that in his past he kind of had trouble learning to trust people because everyone kind of discriminated against him for being a Haitian, and that's kind of given him a lot of trust issues. And I think Uriah does a pretty good job of getting across that sense of mistrust early on. And as he kind of changes, as he kind of grows more attached to Sarfi and is kind of willing to go on in life and live for her, and you can definitely hear that shift pretty well in Orion's performance. While he never quite loses that edge, and especially whenever he's kind of interacting with Jormungand, and I think it's really fun seeing how much he really wants to one up him, but just kind of can't manage it. And I think their whole dynamic there is pretty fun. And it's also kind of funny that he's just like one of the few people who isn't afraid to talk down Anubis, and I think it's really funny just kind of watching him start towards him. It's really funny. But Brian Pitt's a really great job there. And then we have Brian Mathis as Jormungand, and I think Jormungand's role over the course of the show is pretty interesting, because while he's not like as openly hostile towards Anubis early on, you can tell that he isn't really all that approving of Sarfi either. He's just much more subtle about it. But he is loyal enough to Leonhard that he's not really too openly say anything. And I think it's kind of interesting seeing how that relationship also evolves over the course of the show and how he kind of gradually gains more respect for Sarfi in his own way. And I think that Brian does a pretty good job of getting that across pretty well. And also just doing a pretty good job of getting across the whole very regal knight thing. This is clearly a man of honor, a guy who's willing to go on life and limb to protect his king, and Brian does a pretty good job of getting that sense of valor across pretty well. And as we were mentioning before, I really love his relationship with Amid. It's very sweet. Seeing how he just can't quite piece together her feeling for him, but it's still somehow just smooth enough to keep that relationship going, even if we don't quite see that work out just quite yet. But I'm
make
sure
babies. They need to make babies.
Yes, please. I really like Brian here. But of course, the standout here is definitely Tom Laughlin as Anubis, and would definitely go so far as to say this is by far my favorite performance in the entire dub. Just like, I really love what Tom brings to the table here, because Anubis just radiates such pure hater energy. Right from the beginning, he just wants. Right from the beginning, he is just out for blood for Sarfi. Just really cannot stand her. And is just clearly trying to do everything in his power to get rid of her, and I really love all the tension that brings really out, where he's just constantly scheming. And I really like the way the show handles it, because, you see this kind of character, and you see his hostility towards Sarfi, and you think, oh, okay, he's going to be, really hostile towards first, but she's going to, be really kind, and he's going to be gradually won over. But it's like, no, that never really happens. It's like, sure, he does kind of gradually come to respect her in his own way as she kind of starts to prove herself, but he never quite loses that hater energy over the course of the show. He's still, he definitely becomes less hostile against the law, but he never quite lets go of that hate until the very end. I think that Tom does a pretty good job of getting that across.
I think my favorite thing in the show is that Sarfi calls him out for being a fake racist. It's like, you don't hate me because I'm human. You just hate me because you don't like me. which is a very funny thing to point out. And it's like, oh, see, like, you would have hated me if I was a beast. Just because our personalities are very diametrically opposed. And he's like, wow, it's so funny.
Kids these days.
That scene was really great. I really love the way he bounces off of Sarfi. I love the way he bounces off of Brian App as a German god, and he kind of like interesting respect those two characters have for each other. Especially since the Anubis doesn't really respect them. The Anubis Prince doesn't really respect anyone except for him and Leo, and I really love the way Tom gets that across. But of course, one of the things I really like is his role towards the end of the show, where he seemingly seems to side with Set over Leo, because he's really broken up over Leo's secret, and Tom does a really good job of getting across how betrayed Anubis feels and how confused he is that Leo couldn't trust him with that kind of secret. And I definitely like one of his final scenes towards the end of the show where he decides to confront Sarfi and asks if she would be able to love Leo even if he weren't part human. And I thought Tom did a pretty good job of just really getting across the drama there, and just kind of really trying to ascertain how Sarfi actually feels, and I really like that dynamic there. And I just love this performance so much. Tom just really sells his character. He can be conniving. He can be dramatic. It's just the whole package. It's a really strong performance, and in general, Tom definitely deserves a lot more attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll pick up from there, and I'll talk about. I guess I'll just go straight into Tom. There's a reason that I gave Tom that year my Voice Actor to Watch award, because his Anubis is phenomenal. Anubis, I would say, is definitely the major antagonist of the first arc of the show, where a lot of it is just him putting this pressure on Sarafi to break, and how much he doesn't genuinely respect his best friend's choice because of his own blindness and just years-long fear of humans, also and prejudice towards them. Also, shout out to Jade Saxton for playing Baby Anubis.
I do love. Is Anubis?
I think for me, she is Baby.
Okay,
Anubis.
no, I was gonna ask: is Anubis a cat?
A dog?
No, he's a
dog.
Yeah, he's a jackal. Yeah, very specifically, he's a jackal. Okay. He is part of. It is said explicitly that he is a jackal. But from what I've read online about the series, he is probably very much based off of a Pharaoh Hound, which is a breed of dog that kind of looks like exactly what you'd think based off their name. You can Google what they look like. Because Set is also a jackal and he looks a lot different, but I think it's clear because Set has, unlike Anubis, Set had mixed mixed species parents. So I'm assuming that Set's real father had something hoof stock in him, because he kind of has claws as opposed to Set's paupers, and which also shout out to animating them toe beans.
They are very good toe beans.
Set has Anubis has them. Anubis does have them toe beans. And the reason I gave Tom that award was because Tom, I think that was literally the first thing I had ever heard Tom Laughlin in my life. And I was like, wow, this, along with the gentleman who plays Leonhardt, I was like, hey, this is very different, and I don't know who you are. And I don't know if you're gonna work as this character because you're not as established. And that's a risk that you take. And frankly, I'll admit I am a little bit biased in this because this is in fact a hard shoujo, and this was back during a time where Crunchyroll was still kind of on the fence about dubbing them. At least they've been better about it, unlike some people making polls and asking and then never doing anything. But I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work, and he worked phenomenally. And I think the scene for me that really not only drove home, there are 3 really pivotal scenes for me that really sell this. One of them is when Anubis decides to go out to stop the rebellions and fights against Gleipnir. And there's just like this kind of understanding between him and Jormungandr. The second one is the way that Tom portrays the shock of finally learning what Leon's been hiding from him, and how much, not only that it pains him that his best friend hid this from him, but also that, in a sense, Set is also doing this to his best friend. There is that level of, I am hurt, but I am also hurting, that Tom gets across. And then the last one is the final kind of big conversation between him and Leonhardt after everything has happened and he's recovering from, nearly dying. And Anubis has this, like, well of regret in his voice because he's like, after this, I plan on leaving. I was not a good, not a good right-hand man to you, an advisor, if I could say all those horrible things about who you truly are, and you bore it all without ever telling me to stop. And I was saying such awful, terrible things. No wonder you never felt okay to say things to me. No wonder you ever felt like you could not tell me this great secret of yours, because I would just sit and reject you. And that makes me the worst person on the earth. And you can just hear it in Tom's voice that he feels like he is never going to be able to be forgiven for what he's done. And yet he can only take Leo's gracious reply of, I'm never letting you leave, because without you, I would have never become the man that I had to be to stay at her side to face this challenge at all. So thank you for being kind of the worst person on earth. And it was very beautiful and very charming. And then we get to Jormungand, who I also very much like this. Brian plays Jormungand as both very casual and very serious at his job at the same time. I love that he calls Anubis AB. And one of my actual favorite conversations with him is he kind of has this very, like, I don't want to say father-son, but big brother, little brother thing going on with Lant later on. And he's like, I knew Anubis would have never betrayed us, in like kind of this very matter-of-fact way. And he goes, so then why did you punch him in the face? I had to make it look believable. And I think the thing is, too, is that a lot of Brian Mathis's roles are that of, like, these kind of older gentlemen, or, like, your like, kind of very stoic older guys. And I think this is a little bit of that, but I also feel like there's this youthfulness to his performance, despite it being kind of very clear that the beasts are very old. So, top notch. Also, his little shoujo cutesy moments with the meat are so good. And in the last episode, where they're watching the baby, and he's like, I want my kids to be like that. And Amit's like, me too. And then he's like, oh, fuck.
He's so cute.
Very, very adorable. And then, as somebody, first of all, I want to say, as somebody who has a hyena persona, thank you to this show for having the hyena character basically be, while he has a little bit of a trickster, eventually become one of the most noble characters in the entire show. Also, I love Orion Pitts' I didn't hear no bell attitude for some of the fights. Like, straight up, he's like, I can keep going. And he's like, what are you doing? What the fuck, Sarfi? I can still keep going. No, you can't, you dumbass. So, very, very much appreciated. I know we kind of jokingly called him Hyena Ranta for a reason. It is very similar to that performance. But that's not saying I dislike it. I absolutely love that he got to be Lant, because I feel like Orion Pitts is a highly underutilized actor, and I thought he brought a lot of great energy to the series and to his performance. It was such a genuinely fun and good time to hear him again. So those are my thoughts.
Is it me?
Alright.
It's Andrew.
Yeah, we'll let it. No, you can go. Andrew can go last.
Okay, I will make it kind of quick. Shout out to Orion Peach Girl Pitts. It's been 20 years, my dude. Thank you for still getting work. He was awesome. I loved it. I loved the little hyena shit. He was so great. Like, again, brought the levity that was sorely needed. And you would expect, hyena to be like scary Lion King hyena, but he was really good. I loved that performance. Brian as Jormungand. Hello, Lizard Daddy. Like, we're here. we're here for this. Do you change colors? I don't know what kind of lizard that is. Probably not it. Do you have a long tongue? I'm gonna stop talking. No, but
what that tongue do? You're literally just sitting here going, "Hey, what that tongue do?"
I mean, Amit, no, she know what's up. She loves that man. It's great. No, Brian did such a good job at this. I feel like so discombobulated because I can't think straight of where else I've heard Brian Mathis talk, but I know I have like a zillion times. But this just kind of felt like, and I know it's going to sound odd, it kind of felt like coming home, like to a performance. Like it just felt like it belonged in this world, like this fantasy world very much. Like,
okay.
He sounded like he fit in to this fairy tale, and it was greatly appreciated. And then Tom Laughlin got my W this year for a reason. It wasn't this reason, but I love him. Like, honestly, like Anubis, especially the little episode previews at the end of each episode, those are my favorite Anubis parts. I was like, he is funny. He is a sassy little queen, Anubis. Oh my god. Anubis can do no wrong. I am part of that dog family. Like, me and the dogs. Like, he can throw in the pile too. Like, he was just so funny. Like, and then those episodes, like, where he just felt betrayed, and like the flashback episodes. Chris was like, we could skip the flashback episodes. Like, you're probably not going to have to talk about the baby. And I was like, no, I have to know the baby's backstory. Like, I have to know it because it's just.
I love this dog.
Yeah, I love the dogs. Like, I
want that dog to be happy.
I do, because like, so like the lore for and the fact that his name is Sirius has something to do with this, I think. I'm not a big history.
Sirius, I believe, is the main star in I think it's called the Dog
Star.
That's why.
That is the Dog Star.
Oh my god, he's the guiding light.
He is the guiding light.
Oh my god, that's why he's serious.
Yes, and
also he's a very serious person.
Yeah, damn.
And Anubis is like in Egyptian history. Isn't that the dog that guards the pyramid? Like, they guard the sarcophaguses, which is why you see the dogs outside the pyramids.
Yeah, he is the god of funerary rites, protector of graves and guards.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, like, I wouldn't expect that kind of dog to be there because technically Leonhardt's not dead, but I don't know. Anubis was a sassy bitch, and like Tom Laughlin did it perfectly, and I cannot say anything bad or wrong about it because it was just 100% pure love, my friend. Like, get your sassy bitch on because I'm here for it.
So Gigi, you have heard Brian Mathis before? He's Garp in One Piece.
Sexy grandpa. That's why it's like coming home. Garp is my sexy grandpa.
That would do
No,
it.
I just did really bad in my captain's cup today. I came in dead fucking last. I did not win one round, and then I had a panic attack about it in the car. And then Chris brought me Chinese food. It was not my day. I love my girl Bonnie, but I think it's time to move on. And we're gonna go with Sexy Grandpa's little protege, my main man Kobe. No one knows what I'm talking about unless you play the One Piece card game, but I'm extremely into it, and it's a sick thing.
Hey, more power to you. Glad you're enjoying it.
But thank you for Sexy Grandpa is Jormungand, and that is why it was like coming home to my sexy grandpa. So thank you, Brian Mathis. I'm going to go hide in a corner now and let Andrew talk before he will embarrass me further. So
No.
Don't ever feel bad about Gigi. Don't ever feel bad about crying about card games. I literally play Magic.
Oh God, I'm so sorry for your soul.
Anyways, Gigi, I'll give you a break from teasing you and go on. I love the fact that we do at least have like different places where we recognize Ori and Pitts from. Because, yes, this is almost all of Team Grimgar here, so like Ronta is like a big factor of the Team Grimgar dynamic. I really think it's interesting hearing Ori and Pitts in a role like this. I really like Lontevelt. I think he's a very welcome addition to this series, because you definitely also, through him, get to see a lot of, like, not all beasts are treated or created equally, and it's like, okay, Megan, this one might do psychic damage for you.
Bracing myself.
He kind of reminds me of his lore backstory. Kind of reminds me of Dedue and like the people from Duscar and how they're.
Oh shit! You're right. The Duscar. Oh man, are you talking about? Oh my god, you're right. You're right. He is Dedue, but sassier.
The fucked up part is Jormungand, and the way Brian Mathis plays it sounds a lot closer to Dedue as a character, but Lontevelt's actual story and origin is quite literally Dedue and the Duscar people.
The Dusker. Play Fire Emblem 3 House is such a great
Anyways,
game.
I just had to say that because I thought about it, and I'm like, oh, that's going to fuck up Megan as soon as I say that. But no,
It is.
I love Ori and Pitts. He's a good boy, and Lont is a really good cat. He's a really good little hyena kid doing his best. He's a shit kid, but you can tell like he's a shit kid with a heart of gold that has been like he's literally the stray cat that has been used and abused by people his whole life, and Sarfi is the one to truly bring that kid in home and give him a place to call home. Like, I'm literally thinking about it, it's like, Sarfi's, he is guarded with protecting her, but Sarfi spends it protecting him, and I like her justification for doing it. I like how it seems like almost like naive or like taking agency away from him is how it could be conceived. It's like, no, I don't want you to die, because I want you to see how far I can go with me. And I thought that was a really nice little realization where it's like, I don't want you to be suicidal and die in glory. No, I want you there by my side when I achieve greatness. I want you there to see me grow.
God. Oh my god, they're hetero. Oh my god, they are Dedue and Demetrius.
Oh, fuck.
Oh god, Anubis would be Ingrid.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, he. Oh fuck. Yeah, no, Anubis would be Felix because he's hostile towards Dimitri.
Oh, I feel like I have broken you.
No, you didn't break it. You didn't break. The only thing you broke was the sawed off my third eye.
God. But no, I really like
Well, the third eye I have for Fire Emblem. There's also a third eye for Uma Musume, a third eye for Final Fantasy XIV. That thing's just always uncrusted.
Oh, you're ready at any moment.
Hockey.
Drop of the hat.
Yeah, the hockey eye is there. Useless animal facts, definitely one. League of Legends, that eye is shaped like Gigi Marine. Shout out to VTuber Feet for Jackson, who I hope is editing this now.
Okay. All right.
Andrew also has a crusted third eye, but only Steph's allowed to see that.
Jesus Christ! All right. Well, I guess on the topic of baby making, Brian Mathis as Jormungand. Jormungand needs to fuck Ami today. God damn it. I really like Brian Mathis as Jormungand. I think he's a very cool, noble little soldier general. I think he's a great balancing act along with all the other people in like the king's court and all that. He's like, I love his student-master relationship with Wand. I love his kind of like petty best friend relationship thing with Anubis. I adore his romance with Ami. Like, he's a very good balancing act no matter which character you put him with. He's kind of like a great scene partner in that sense. Like, whichever character he is interacting with in the castle, it's always kind of interesting and compelling. So I feel like he's like a good axis in that regard. But I think he's very soft and warm in that he has also gone through his own share of reptilian racism. There's always been a little bit of animal racism in this kingdom. Like, it's not quite herbivore. It's a little herbivore predator, but it basically is like... It's mostly like predator furry, but predator scaly is also shit upon. And then the Hyenians are just the whole Dascarian thing. Okay, so the metaphor is not completely like one-to-one, but there is prejudice, and he has dealt with prejudice, and Leonhardt was like, no, you're good at what you do, I want you on my team, get in. And I love Brian Mathis. I love Tom Laughlin's Anubis so much. I think there's a good argument to be made about it being like the best performance in the show. There's a lot of really good scenes about him being very petty and like fussy, but I kind of also love the scenes where he's actually like being real and serious. I didn't mean for that to be a pun. I didn't mean for that to be a bit, but I think probably one of the standout scenes for me actually is when Sarafi is kidnapped by the toxic Yowie wolves. And Leo is just ready to drop everything, drop of a hat, save his girl. And Anubis is basically telling him, you cannot, your people need you, the kingdom is in chaos and disarray, you would do more harm to Sarafi and the kingdom if you left in the state it is in right now. And he's like, get out of my way, I won't hear you say. And then he's like, alright, fine. Kill me then. If this coup is successful, I have no desire to serve a king that is not you. I have accepted my role. I could ask for nothing more fulfilling than to die at your majesty's hand here and now. I wrote that line in particular because I was like, holy shit. Like, Anubis is so good in that he is quite literally... He is the mean political savant that Leo needed. Because Leo is a kind-hearted, complicated person that's dealing with his own insecurities and complications. Anubis...
And learned toxic bullshit.
Yeah, and Anubis is the one that basically helped guide him to be a true leader, a true king. Not even in a corrupt sense, in like a, your way is just, I will see your vision through, even if it costs me everything. And like, that's why I love his dynamic, especially with Sarafi, because it's clear he just doesn't like Sarafi. Not even for racism, it's just, no, you just are a person I don't get along with because their personalities conflict. And I love that Sarafi recognizes that. And I do adore the would you still love him even if he wasn't human conversation. And at first he's offended, where it's like, you don't know? You wouldn't love him if he wasn't human? It's like, I don't know. Because I've always loved him for everything he is. Human and non-human, that is the man I fell in love with. And that is also the man you trust and serve. Always has been, always will. And I love that. I love that. I love Tom has like the perfect royal regalness. He is cool, calm, collected. But he also is a petty bitch. He also is a little bit petty. In that, like, he is royal, he is dignified, but he lets the mask go around people like Sarafi, around Jormungand. And, like, when that pettiness does come out, he does become a really fun character, but also, like, I love the heel turn and then reveal. It's like, I swore my allegiance to King. Never once have I called you Majesty. I'm like, oh, that's such a good reveal.
Yeah, like, I've never once called you your Majesty. Or
I was like, that goes
King.
hard as fuck. Ah, Anubis, that goes hard as fuck. And Tom, honestly, genuinely, I do think Tom Laughlin is my favorite performance in this dub, bar none. Yeah, I was talking about it more, 100%. Incredible performance. Inspired casting. Especially
for, I think this was, like, one of his first, like, big named characters, too.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was one of his first, like, named characters in the Dallas Sphere, but fucking inspired casting.
I think Lovely Complex was recorded first, but it came out later. That was his literal first, like, recorded one, but this, I believe, came out before it.
I can believe that, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I really like this crew. Yeah. I'm glad we're getting to talk about them.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. Alright, so let's talk about our couple, our main couple, Sarafi and Leonhardt. Leonhardt is the king of beasts, and he has a complicated past where he is half beast, half human, and without the miasma covering the beast kingdom, he would appear as a human. So Leonhardt's whole thing is that he was, in truth, adopted by his uncle, who was the former king after his queen died. Because as you come to find out, the former king of Beast was infertile. But he was a twin, and because the main royal family seems to run off lion logic, they are basically kind of like giant demonic lions, they cast out the twin they thought wasn't going to, amount to anything. So that twin went to the human world, got fought off, tried to make something of itself, but eventually ended up in the human world and fell in love with a woman who we made her meet the descendant of, named Anastasia. So they had a child, and the former archbishop essentially went out and killed his mom and took him from her arms. And he was raised basically to be in shame of what he truly was. And Sarafi he ends up letting out all of these sacrifices over the years until Sarafi basically is like the only one that was never afraid of him and is just like, fuck it, we ball. Sarafi as a character is this girl from the human kingdom of Yawana, and she was basically being raised happily until she found out that she was a sacrifice. And her adopted family basically said, well, we don't really actually need to take care of you anymore. We just gotta keep you healthy until the day you're gone, and we don't fucking love you. And because she basically came from a place where, well, if I go back, I die. No one's ever gonna really fucking want me anyway. She just kind of stays there and becomes this queen and loves Leonhardt for the person that he is and gives him the name Leonhardt because of his nature. And eventually you find out that his human name was going to be Richard the Lionheart. So, playing Leonhardt is Ray Hurd, and playing Sarafi is Emmy Lowe. Ray Hurd, you'll know his characters such as Ryujin Zanba in All Out. He is Keiichi Mayama in Hinamaru Sumo. And he is Dark Tiger in the Silver Guardian 2. Emmy Lowe, you'll know his characters such as Miri Unasaka in Buddy Daddies, as Makoto Ira in Horimiya, and Sumugi Hattori in Orient. I'm gonna go first here because I think that Emmy Lowe is by far the most safely cast person in the show, but she is a perfect Sarafi. She has that cutesy kind of sweet girl voice that Emmy has kind of been come to know by. I think that she really carries Sarafi's growing regalness and consciousness going forward, and she's so strong. She's so in love with Leonhardt and all that he is, and it comes across so naturally. She is absolutely the queen. She definitely has such a heart in her voice that they know and that Sarafi needed for her performance. It's just kind of, hey, this is really good, and by now, if Emmy Lowe is turning in a bad performance, something is wrong with the direction and the writing. I don't think Emmy Lowe is capable of turning in bad performances at this point. They are a literal juggernaut in the industry for a reason. Ray Hurd being cast as the shoujo leading man is one of the single most galaxy brain things ever done at Crunchyroll all
Honestly,
the time.
fair.
Crunchyroll Funimation. Genuinely, because there are so many other people they could have had come to do this. And I don't think Ray Hurd would have ever been in my brain. I love his Leonhardt. He has that beastly growl that is very reminiscent of the Beauty and the Beast films, but also can pull out the haughty shoujo voice.
I didn't know he could do that.
Literal tone of voice is John Mulaney's The Horse in the Elevator. I didn't know he could do that. Just him. God, first of all, I want to say that both forms of Leonhardt are hottie patatis. But God, the scene where he cuts off all of his hair before going into battle.
I don't want to talk about it. My Achilles heel.
The Mulan moment.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. This is why I gave him underrated performance that year. Because I didn't think anybody really talked about how good this was. Genuinely. It is such it's such a odd choice that if it went wrong, it would have really went wrong. But Ray plays Leonhardt with not only the bravado of somebody taught to be ferocious, to mask their feelings, but the genuine anxiety and pain of somebody having to lead a double life because the people around them have shown they won't accept someone who is different from them. And that's why I feel like his motivation to end the sacrifices, as well as just making the Beast Nation somewhere where everybody can live and just be themselves, comes off as so genuine. It's just loved it. Awesome performance. I will cede the floor. Hi.
Okay.
Did you want to go?
You can go first.
Cool. Yeah, I guess I'll start with Emmy Lowe and Sarafi. Yeah, like Megan was saying, this probably was among the safer casting choices in the show, but Emmy Lowe has casted these kind of characters as a reason that they're really great at them, and I really like what they brought to the table here. Just really did a really good job of getting across, just kind of how sweet and genuine of a person Sarafi is. But also that Sarafi is just kind of pretty strong-headed and willing to stand up for herself. Which I think you get it, which is gonna ground across pretty well, like right from the beginning. And, like even when Zarfi is just like first presented before Leo at a sacrifice, and she's just kind of like immediately just going off with the Anubis. It's great. And from there, it's just a really good balance of being really caring towards everyone she meets, and trying her best to kind of totally understand Beast's kind. While again doing what she can to stand up for herself, especially against Anubis or like any of the core people she has to deal with. And just sort of gradually becoming more confident and growing into the role of becoming a queen. I think that Emmy Lowe does a really good job of getting that evolution across. Really nothing I can complain about. It's a really solid performance. And then as for Ray Hurd and Leonhardt, I really like Ray Hurd. The other thing I was really the most familiar with him prior to Gosick. Prior to this was his role in Gosick, and I really liked him there, and I've definitely thought he been underrated ever since then. So it was a really nice surprise to see him pop up in this show. And I think his performance as Leo is pretty interesting, especially since, and this is something I pretty sure I talked about before in other episodes, and that it can be a very interesting balancing act when an actor is kind of very clearly doing what can be considered like a voice, and because you have something that's a little bit more natural, and then you have what is like kind of like a very kind of distinct character voice, and that can be kind of a difficult thing to balance because sometimes you can run into situations where an actor might be leaning a little bit too hard into the voice that kind of affects the nuances of the performance. And there are, going into the dub, I was kind of a little bit worried that Ray Hurd's performance might run into that kind of problem. But no, I think that Ray Hurd did a really good job of handling it. Really good job of getting across Leo whenever he needs to be gruff and powerful, and he does a really great job with that. But I think the parts of the performance I really like, aside from him in human form, I really do like the contrast there. But the thing I really do like is just a lot of his really tender moments, especially like when he's alone with Zarfi and exploiting his vulnerabilities. And you hear and while Ray still does a pretty good job of making him sound gruff, you can definitely kind of hear the tone soften up a bit, and I think Ray's really good in those moments. Just getting across how much Zarfi means to Leo, and I really like a lot of the moments together, and especially a lot of the times when Leo is just kind of struggling with his history and accepting who he is, and Ray gets a lot of those vulnerabilities across really well. Again, this is, like Megan was saying, this is a performance that could have gone wrong so very easily. But Ray did a really great job of making it work, and I'm really impressed with what he brought to the table here.
Mm-hmm. I would also pretty much say that, yeah. Emmy Lowe is like, I thought Zarfi is a character that I think really grew on me as the show went along. I thought, okay, Zarfi is alright. I would say Zarfi is not a character I ever disliked, but I would say, like, I wasn't particularly impressed with her at the start. I was like, okay, she's just kind of going about it one day at a time while being a little odd. But I kind of really like her development of actively wanting to try and really push herself to be worthy of the role, while also, like, having that genuine kindness and strength to, like, stand up for what she thinks is right and what she believes in, and also just, like, trying not to tell people to sacrifice themselves just for the sake and glory of it. I want you to be here by my side because I want you here with me. And I do love that growth. And I think Emmy gets a lot of that strength, that growth and change of character, while also just that softness, that warmth, and also the bubbliness of the girl in love with the big, strong... I also just love the fact that, like, whenever she needs comforting, Leo pulls out his tail. I think that's adorable. I think that's just so cute. And yeah, I think Emmy, like, legit nails all of what Sarfi needs. The traumatized girl that's doing her best to try and grow into a better, stronger person, to feel worthy of standing alongside him as a queen. Not only just being with him as a lover, but to stand beside him as a queen that can really be there for this kingdom that he has worked so hard to build. And I think that's a really good supportive pair, and I do really like their relationship, their growth throughout the series, that culminates in an adorable little fluffball named Richard. That is a cute kid. That's a very cute kid.
Why that baby so cute?
He's so cute!
He's so fucking cute.
He's so darling. Shout out to Sarah Roach for playing him at the end there. But he's very cute, and I know the sequel series is based on him, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, cute.
Yes, it is his adventures.
Cute.
But yeah, definitely the more surprising and inspired one is definitely Ray Hurd playing both Bishy and the Beast.
Wow.
I was like,
How?
Oh, fuck,
I was
remember.
workshopping that. I sighed out of disappointment in myself, and then I said, well, I've already come this far.
You know what, Andrew, I will give you credit. That actually is a pretty good one.
You had to follow through.
Thank you. Sometimes you need to shoot your shot. And boy, did Leo shoot his shot in Sarfi. Okay, anyways, I really liked Ray Hurd. I think it's definitely incredible to see two very different vocal performances. Both, like, the gruff, feral, beastly, strong, commanding Leonhardt, while also playing the very soft, traumatized, awkward, but doing his best in the form of, like, the human form is effectively Richard, I guess, while the beast form is Leonhardt, even though they're both kind of the same character, same person. But it is a really impressive dichotomy that Ray Hurd is able to achieve as Leonhardt in a way that really feels like it could easily not work, that I continued to be impressed not only worked, but was really, really compelling, both in the funny moments, both in the serious moments, both in the very tenderly romantic. That shit, like, oh, I love how he's got the gruff, deep voice, and then he is so fucking smooth. My God. Leo, you are a smooth motherfucker. My goodness. My goodness, my man. It's no wonder Sarfi got some Richard on her wedding night, just saying.
Gigi?
Alright. Well, before I start, I need to scrub my brain. Also, I have two questions, and these are actually, well, the first one is a legitimate question. Does anybody know how old Sarfi's supposed to be?
Hold on. I can tell you by the wiki.
Thank you.
I think she starts out the series at 15.
And then we get up to 16?
Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm looking.
I actually don't know myself.
Okay, so she's 15 in the main series, from what I understand.
Okay.
As of Volume 3. And then she's 17 in Volume 1 of the spin-off manga of the sequel. She's 25. She's 25 at the beginning of that. So, like, at one point, I guess it's, like, I'm looking at... But for the most part, she's between 15 and 16 years old in the main series.
Okay. I'm just asking because, like... I literally could not gauge how old she was supposed to be. Like, I was going in between, like, 9 to 13.
Where'd you get
so I'm
9?
glad that you said 15. She's a baby. She doesn't wear any fucking shoes. Like,
she's only 5 feet tall, too.
yeah, like, she's so little. And the way that Leonhardt picks her up is just like, she's like a fucking porcelain doll.
Okay, look, to be fair, it's like a one-piece giant next to a normal human girl.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I just didn't know, like, where my mind was supposed to be about this marriage, because I was just very confused over, is she a kid sacrifice? Because, like, when she was baby, I thought she was baby, like 2-3 baby, not like 8-9 baby.
Jesus.
So I was very confused throughout the entire series. And then my second question, which is slightly less serious, is what that bitch got to do with that huge fucking bag of apples?
That's...
Somebody fucking tell me that you saw when she was going away for like one night and she packed like 3 garbage bags full of fucking apples.
Oh, like actual...
She hungry.
Oh, like actual apples. Okay.
Yeah, what did you think I was talking about?
By the way, I will just say this. It takes them like 9 years to have a kid after the thing. So she has her kid in her 20s.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, when you were talking about that sack of apples, I thought you were talking about Leonhardt's royal family jewels.
It's a literal garbage bag full of apples that she's trying to pack with her to like take on the boat or something. And no clothes. No, like, toothbrush. No shoes for Lady Spotify. Just a giant bag of fucking apples. Like, 3 of them full of apples.
She's got her priorities.
Apples are her priorities.
Yeah.
We never see her eat a fucking apple in the entire series. Anyways. That was my... In a nutshell, those are my thoughts on Lady Spotify, other than the fact that I finally learned what her name was in episode 13. I gave Emilo a W for Buddy Daddies, so I don't think her talent is any less here. I did not enjoy the character of Sarafi personally, just because she seemed very like omnipotent and like all-knowing and very like everything was gonna be okay. Chris was like, she's very Mary Sue-ish, and I was like, I kind of agree. Emmy did a good performance for her. It was not my cup of tea character, but that's fine. It is what it is. Now, everyone, please don't hate me, because when Rayherd is in beast mode, we were trying to figure out who he sounded like, and I couldn't place it. I was like, well, is he trying to sound like Robbie Benson from Beauty and the Beast? Because that's what at first I thought. And I was like, but that's not quite right. And then Chris got it. And he's like, it's Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget.
Oh my god.
And
you know what, sexy Dr. Claw is valid.
And I cannot unhear it. So the whole time, like when Sarafi is like snuggling and like nuzzling up, I just keep thinking of Dr. Claw petting that cat. I can't unhear it. I can't unsee it. He did a very good job emoting more than Dr. Claw ever could. I don't know who plays Dr. Claw in Inspector Gadget, but oh my god.
Wasn't
I'll get you next time, human girl.
Man, I'm going to have Chris do the disclaimer for this episode in a Dr. Claw voice. And then you will understand what I've been dealing with the past 4 days.
You know what? Fucking bet. Tell him to send it our way.
No, it's Megan's episode. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm just fucking. But.
Oh no, fucking do it.
Oh, all right, I'll have him do it. He doesn't like to talk to people, but maybe he'll talk to this microphone. But yeah, that's all I heard was once he said that, I couldn't unhear it. I couldn't unsee it. I really enjoyed Boy Mode from Rayherd, which was very unexpected. Like, I was honestly expecting a different voice actor to go in and play Boy Mode, but they didn't do it. And you could tell, like, you could hear the similarities and the differences. And I thought that was very smart because, like, the growly was a lot of growl, but the boy was like less growl, but you could hear that it was still in there. I know that doesn't sound like a lot of sense, but for me, Ray Hurd is Borsalino, and since I don't play a black deck in One Piece TCG, fuck Borsalino. But you know, I hear Ray Hurd, I think of Borsalino. At first, I like got it confused with somebody else, and I was like, wait, what? No, this is Borsalino. But it's completely different. Like, I think he's more talented than a lot of people give him credit for, with just the things that he can do with his voice. Like all the sonance that he can put into it and get these different tones, but, you know, still make them relatable as with the character. So, man, huge props to Ray Hurd. I mean, him and Emmy, while I have, you know, given more accolades and stuff to the supporting cast, but him and Emmy really had to carry this show because they are the main characters. And, you know, I didn't think they had a lot of vocal chemistry together because their voices are so different from one another. But if you're making the point that opposites attract, and you do it, you know, on the physical statures of the characters alone, like you said, like it's like a big giant carrying like a normal sized human. I think it works in that area. But the two of them had to carry it, and they did. They carried it on top of the beasts. Sorry, I don't. Every time I say Leonhardt, I think of the YouTuber. It's all right. So most of the jokes that we made to ourselves were talking about him picking starter Pokemon and going fire energy over and over. He opens a lot of Pokemon cards for you guys that don't know.
Oh, okay.
And he lives here, so it's just kind of like everywhere we go, we think we're gonna run into him, and then we never do. But it's really funny. So yeah, we just kept thinking about the YouTuber and him opening up Pokemon cards and doing little battles with his dragon versus Joey Wheeler Phoenix, and I thought that was really funny to myself. And that was a spinoff nobody ever asked for or wanted, and now I'm gonna shut up. Please, Megan, take it away.
I think everybody's gone.
I think so. Yeah.
I was gonna say, when you were saying the Doctor, my immediate thought was not Dr. Eggman, but Dr. Claw, but Dr. Eggman.
Isn't that Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Yes. I was thinking of the Jim Carrey, and I was like, that would be a completely different series. All right, so final thoughts. Andrew, why don't you go?
Admittedly, I will say I thought some of the end of the show was maybe a little too convenient for my personal taste. I don't know how much of that was the adaptation going real fast or if it was similar in the manga. That being said, I had a pretty good time watching this one. This was a pretty relaxing show to watch and go through, and I enjoyed the cast of characters quite a fair bit. It had some pretty fun character dynamics and some performances that really impressed the hell out of me. I definitely think there's a couple actors whose names like I was kind of aware of, but like who I never really heard in a major anime role till now. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to keep Sean, Zan, and Tom Laughlin especially on my radar going forward, because those were like hell of performances. I enjoyed the show. I'm glad I got to talk about it. You're welcome, Greg. Thank you for giving us money, you son of a bitch.
All right, Gigi.
It was all right. Not gonna lie, like the first core was like, I was like, can I make it through the second half? Because this is not like where are the boys? Luckily, the second half provided those. Thank you, Wolfpack. You know who you are, the Dog Squad. It's very. I don't want to say that this anime is like. How do I want to say this? It has a lot of adult themes and concepts and politics in it, and it doesn't have that level of trash that I personally enjoy, and that's okay. It was wholesome. That's the word I'm looking for. The romance in this was very wholesome. It was very cute. And I think because I didn't go into it thinking that was what I was watching, my brain was kind of all over the place. However, the dub was a really nice surprise. I loved the performances and the direction. I'm the one who likes jokes in the script, so I wish the script were a little more loose, but that's just my personal preference. Other than that, it is a 2-core, so watch appropriately. I would say watch the second half. Wait, when you were talking, are you going to talk about this, about how the shoujo thing and how it did something in the... What you guys were talking about at the beginning of the episode? Because I want to hear what that was.
Okay, yeah, no. I'll say to my final thoughts.
Cool,
so.
yeah. I want to wait for that. But, you know, I like the dub. I like the performances. It was great to hear Tom Laughlin again. And Brian Mathis' sexy grandpa.
Hi, baby. Jet, go ahead.
I really like this show. It kind of came out of nowhere for me when the simulcast originally came out, but I ended up enjoying it quite a bit. Just a really nice little JoJo fantasies. There's some really great characters, some solid politics, even if the ending might be a little bit rushed. But I still ended up really liking this show quite a lot, and I also like the dub a lot. Really solid performances, a lot across the board. Some career highlights for actors like Ray Hurd and Tom Laughlin. Just really solid across the board. And in general, this is a show I'd really recommend checking out. It's just really delightful and charming. Really interesting take on Beauty and the Beast.
Awesome. For me, this is a show that I had been meaning to sit and I was really happy I finally sat down and finished. Thank you, Greg. I owe you one. But yeah, no, this dub was really good. I'm glad that this got put into production and that Jonathan really took a lot of heart and care in this and made some risks in the casting department. I'm glad that this... First of all, I'm glad this was not just one core of a show. Thankfully, the manga had been completed, and it's a 15-volume manga. So, the thing is that right before this, Gigi, I think within the same year, JC Staff had done another shoujo.
Which one?
Okay, no. It was a year before. Because JC Staff, that same year, also did Sugar After Fairy Tale. But they had the year before did Requiem of the Rose King. And basically shoved that entire manga into 2 cores. And also toned down some of how queer it was.
Got it. Okay. So, JC Staff kind of has this notorious thing of, well, finish it, but it's gonna look cheap as shit. And I'm also very, very shocked that, Gigi, I'm gonna shock you, because you are a connoisseur of trash. You like things like the Junjo's Romantica. Yes.
The Higarashis.
Yes.
The Golden Time.
Yes.
Would you believe that this is directed by the same woman?
Yes. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, this was done by Chiaki Khan.
Yeah, I would. It
fits.
Yeah,
Okay.
it has a little... I see it now. And I get what you're saying about JC Staff too. I was thinking older in my mind, so the newer ones.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they did kind of fuck up The Familiar is Zero.
Wow.
That far back
damn.
I was going.
That's a fucking deep
I was gonna
hole.
say, there is one thing I wish that they did that did get dubbed. Oh, not because it's good, but because it would be a funny dub talk to do.
What?
Vatican Miracle Examiner.
Oh my god, I bought that and I never watched it.
It is so
Isn't
bad.
Hell yeah.
It is,
Isn't that the
Gigi, that is like your trash.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Are you asking, is that the show with, like, the somehow they remade Hitler?
Yes, that is the exact show I thought it
Oh,
was.
I thought it was a yaoi. Are you kidding?
Oh, no.
The show with the
it might-
Vatican in the title. Your first thought was, is that yaoi?
There's two guys on the cover. I thought it was a yaoi.
Vatican!
Andrew, it is the Catholic Church.
Ouch.
I can make fun of Catholics. I'm
I
Catholic.
am too.
Alright. So, if you would like to watch Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts, you can head over and watch it on Crunchyroll. I do not believe this has been given a home video release yet, which is sad because it should. So, you should definitely check it out if you are interested. You can pick up the manga as well as the sequel manga from Yen Press. I do believe all volumes of the series that the anime is based off, not the sequel, are out in English. So it is something that you can just pick up and grab and read. And if you like us, we are the Dub Talk Podcast. You can follow us on Blue Sky, YouTube, Podbean, Apple Podcast, the Shambling Corpse of Twitter. Speaking of Nazis,
Yep.
the Shambling Corpse of Twitter. If you would like to support us as a one-time thing, we do have a Ko-fi account, but if you'd like to support us on the regular, we do have a Patreon. And I'd like to give a shout out to our lovely Patreons, including Pikagreg, who did this episode. But at our $5 tier, we have Bright Eyes 505, Quinoa Soup, Marissa Lenti, Michelle Travis, and my parents. At our $10 tier, we have Anthony Brown, Carly Lusticow, Julia W., Shoulder, and of course the wonderful Pikagreg, who is the reason why we have done this episode. Everybody plug yourself.
Hi there, my name is Andrew, aka Classy Spartan. You can find me over on the Blue Skies at classyspartan.bluesky.social. That's the Classy platform. I still have the Twitter that I use, but I have basically decided, fuck it, it's grody here. I don't care if I retweet the half-naked anime pictures on main anymore. It's already grody here. Anyways, Blue Sky is the classier one. That's actually a little more proper. You can also hear me on Surreal Resolutions podcast O&A anime podcast, where I talk about the latest in anime news alongside my buddy Jet. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Tired.
Mood.
I'm Jet. You can find me on Blue Sky at Jet Zero Infinity, where I'll usually just be talking about anime, cartoons, or I guess whatever it is I'm watching. You can also find me on my blog Dirty This, where I will sometimes write about Shonen Jump stuff I'm reading if I feel like it. And like Andrew said, you can also find me on Through One of the Luce's podcast O&A, shooting to bring some anime news, and you can also sometimes find me freelancing at A&N doing some weekly anime reviews.
I wish you the luck. I wish you.
Doing,
I was gonna say, I wish you luck on your seasonal gotcha reviews. I wasn't sure if those were assigned yet.
Yeah, but currently figuring out what my fate's gonna be for the season, but still currently doing some stuff for Witch Watch.
Nice.
Gigi.
I love Witch Watch. My name's Gigi. You can follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, and YouTube at Anime Palooza, all of which are most dead because I am too busy for words. I barely watch anime anymore, except for One Piece, because I need to learn how to play the card game better. Bonnie Brigade, represent. That's all I have. Oh, and for those of you who have followed in the continuing saga of me saying this every episode I record, no, I can't start up my YouTube channel because my boyfriend still has not cleaned off the kitchen table. That's all I have.
All good. If you follow me, I am at Queen Era on Blue Sky. I retweet a lot of things, post a lot of memes and shit posts, if I remember. I am currently playing a lot of course, Final Fantasy XIV. Uma Musume Pretty Derby has basically taken over my life, and for some reason I am still in a toxic relationship with League of Legends. Because if me playing Magic the Gathering didn't destroy my soul, God knows League of Legends has. Alright, everybody. We're good. And we need to run because the pound is coming.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit! I forgot to make the one joke I didn't make.
Make the joke.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to say that Jormungand is the straightest Lumiere that has ever existed.
Oh, I love that.
You got it in before the
God
buzzer
knows
beater.
that
Let's
Lumiere... We all know Lumiere was never straight. That man is bisexual.
Fifi.
Very.
My little feather duster. Wait, Jet, what's your favorite Disney movie?
Honestly, yeah, I'm a Lion King guy.
Okay, no one will be able to guess mine. I'll give you Megan and Jet a guess each because Andrew guessed and was wrong. He said Cinderella.
I should know this. I've been to Disney World with you.
I don't know why, but I don't know why it's coming to mind, but Tarzan.
Nope.
I thought it was Tangled.
Nope. So my favorite Disney movie is Oliver and Company.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh, okay, you know... No, good choice, though. Good choice, girl.
Yay! Thank you guys for listening.
Never would have guessed in a million
I need to know
years.
now. Okay, I gotta know. Everybody knows The Lion King is my first favorite Disney movie. Does anybody know what my second favorite one is?
How deep of a cut is it?
Fairly deep.
Okay.
Black Cauldron.
No.
I don't know why, but I want to say The Great Mouse
Detective.
We both said it at the same time.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. This can be like a Patreon extra or something. I don't know, but no, it's not that. So I guess you guys get one more guess since you and Andrew both did it at the same time. Andrew gets to take the shot for this one.
Notre Dame.
I did
it is
know
wrong.
that.
My second favorite Disney movie is Meet the Robinsons.
Ah, fuck! I should have. I feel like I should have known that too. Shit. All right.
I once bought. Okay, with that
your
being
face.
said, everybody, otaku on. Arf arf. Or wait,
Love your
shit,
faces.
shit, hyena noises.
Slow noises.
Have a good night.